Hi, my name is Maria Khokhar and I'm a Cybersecurity Associate with Cybersecurity. My path into cybersecurity is an interesting one. I took a lot of detours along the way. When I was at school, I actually hated computing. I had hoped to be a pharmacist. So I left school quite young to pursue that in college. While I was at college, I discovered a new hobby. My brother and I had a little argument and he had changed the Wi-Fi after guessing every possible combination on what the cat password could have been. I did some research on how I could get around the password and get access to the Wi-Fi. While doing my research, I found some games online about ethical hacking and it piqued my interest. I never did hack our Wi-Fi. He ended up just giving me the password. I annoyed him so much. I did, however, learn some new skills. A couple of years later, I saw an ad for an ethical hacking course at my local university. I decided to look into it further and discovered I could actually turn my hobby into a career. But to get into the university, I needed qualifications I did not have. So I had two options: continue with my original choice, chemistry, and go down the route of becoming a pharmacist. After all, I had been studying it for 2 years, or completely start over and go back to college to study computing. Initially, I went with my original plan. I continued with chemistry, but I couldn't get the course out of my head. I just couldn't stop thinking about it, so I decided to discuss it with my family and friends to get some advice. And I'm so glad I did that. Growing up, my mum and my grandmother didn't have the opportunity to go to school, so my mum really encouraged me to make the most of my education and pursue any interests I had. So I decided to explore my interest in computing further, and I set goals for myself to successfully turn my hobby into the career I wanted. In 2016, I became a step closer to my goal and I started studying ethical hacking, digital security, and forensics at my local university. Initially, I was anxious about being older than the rest of the students in my course, and I really lacked confidence in my skills. I was the first in my family to go to university, so I had no idea what to expect. In my first year, I didn't really get involved in many events, and I mostly kept to myself. But in my second year, after some advice from my lecturer, I became the Ethical Hacking Society president. I led a committee of 7 individuals with a focus on developing educational resources for students. In recognising I was the only female person of colour in my course, I decided to create an outreach programme to inspire female students to choose a career in STEM. I really wanted to educate people on how there's no wrong path and to encourage them to make the most of opportunities that were available to them. Over the past few years, I continued to visit schools and encourage students to explore STEM courses and, in particular, computer science courses. I first got my big break when a local cybersecurity company, Cybersecurity, took notice of my work and offered me a job. At the time, I was working night shifts as a stock taker. I had a 0 hour contract, and when I was offered a shift, I didn't have the luxury of rejecting it, even if I had university the next day. It was incredibly stressful juggling university and volunteering while working night shifts. So when Xeric Systems offered me a job that aligned with my degree, I was over the moon. Through it, I've met some incredibly inspiring people, and it's been really nice to be surrounded by individuals on a daily basis who are incredibly supportive, kind, and in general just good people. Later that year, I co-founded the GCU Cyber Clinic. The clinic aimed to raise awareness and educate the public on cybersecurity. It also provided students at GCU with relevant work experience while they studied. Recently, I organised West of Scotland's first student-led cybersecurity convention, G3C. Additionally, I had the opportunity to be the first woman on the Hackers on Tour panel, be a panellist at GCU Women in Cyber, and a keynote speaker at SMARTStems annual hub event. As a result of my work, I've been offered a postgraduate scholarship to fund my Masters in Global Security. I won the Best New Cyber Talent Award at the Scottish Cyber Awards, the Liberty Women in STEM Award, the GCU Event of the Year Award, and the coveted GCU Student of the Year Award. This year, I became a member of the Clinton Global Initiative. By becoming a member of the 2020 cohort, I have not only had the chance to share my work with President Bill Clinton and Chelsea Clinton, I have been able to set up a charity that will help female students learn about cybersecurity skills across Scotland and beyond. I couldn't have done any of that without the incredible support from my family and friends. and my incredible mentors, Jackie Riley and Stuart McDonald. If I could pass on any advice, it would be to find what you love, trust yourself, and don't be afraid of failure. Work hard, and just have fun.